Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel.
Good evening, crowdfunding fans. This is the brain. Oh, wait, no. This is Frank Amazing.
And I'm the brain of the main. Oh, no, not me either.
No. You're Teen Sensation.
I'm Teen Sensation Bill Tucci. Good to see you guys. How you doing, Ara? Yeah, we got a great show today. Great show. Two very different looks to two very different comics, but two great chaps. One of them has already been a guest on our show, and we're so happy to have him return. And things are going good. How you doing, Frank? You getting ready for the weekend or what?
Yeah. Getting ready for the weekends. I will say, for anyone that watched last night, we talked about still getting today. I'd say we got 5 emails from people saying, "Hey, want to be on the show? Come on, you got a spot for me?" And I'm like, "Ooh." Hopefully November, filling up, but this is awesome.
Now we got I like the new format that we're going to be switching to, and this is kind of almost, this is our duo thing. We have a duet going on, but we're going to be switching to our, what are we calling it? The 5 and Dime?
You said 5 and Dime. So unless others say otherwise, that's might be the option. Who knows?
Yeah, I think 5 and Dime is not bad. So we're going to have on our shows 5 creators, and they each get 10 minutes each. So we can do more shows and have a hell of a lot more creators on, and then we don't bore our guests when they say that they have to go eat dinner and stuff because we just keep talking.
And Niall has his second dinner at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's Yeah. Well, anyways, without further ado, let's bring on Nandor, Fox Schaffer, and Michael Oden.
What's up, guys?
Hey, guys. So welcome. Michael was here before promoting his last book. He's got his new book. And Nandor, this is your first time on the show. So why don't you tell us and our fans a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Just real quick, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure being here. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm 23 years old. I live in Missouri. I'm an assistant manager at a bookstore right now. Been working there for a while. I'm also a drummer. I play in a rock band with my brother, and we do shows kind of locally around here. And we have a few songs out. Our band's called Heroics. So we actually have a gig tomorrow night. So really excited about that.
Nice.
But yeah, and I've been making comics since I was about 18. So I'm 23 right now. So about 5 years, trying to build, my career and my brand. And the Seasons Volume 1 was the first book that I got published through Kickstarter. So, and that was in 2018. So yeah, I've just been, or 2017 actually. And so from then on, I've just been, trying to get more involved in the community and, keep making comics.
Okay.
Nice. Nice. The band, dude. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I've been playing drums since I was 11 or 10. So, it's been my whole family is very kind of musically oriented. So, it's just part of our DNA, you could say.
If Niall were here, he would go off on drums. Ask what kind of drums you have, tell you about his drums.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Oh, really?
But he would. Yeah, he is. I think when we were here at your house this weekend, he was talking to someone about drums and what kind of kits they had and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Isaac's a drummer.
Yeah,
Isaac
that's right.
was a professional drummer for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Big time, band, playing in big bands and studios and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, what made you decide to get into crowdfunding your project?
That's a great question. When I had really gotten a lot done for the first book of Seasons, and I started putting it out online for free for people to read, and made some connections with people like Jason Brubaker, and kind of learning about crowdfunding in general, doing some research, and also if I wanted to go with the publisher, what would that look like? Which one would I want to do? Would they even like my book? All these different questions, and I had kind of shopped it around to different publishers, but it didn't really seem like it was taking, and part of the reason why was because it was my first thing, and I really hadn't done anything with comics or writing on a creative level for people to read and see before this. So I thought, okay, well, let me look into this more, and I think like about 4 or 5 years ago, I think in these last few years, I think crowdfunding for comics in the indie community has grown dramatically, like since then. So I think it's even stronger than it was then, and I think this is a great time to get into it. But back then, so many things have changed since then, and I know so much more now. I'm so much more knowledgeable, but at the time, it was just this really big learning curve, and I thought, I really wanted to make a book. I really wanted to get this out there, and I thought, well, the tell for that would be, if people believe in it, like I do. And so it was a risk. Of course, you're always taking a risk with your first book, and I thought, now or never. I really believed in the story. I really believed in what my artist and I were doing, and I was like, we have to do this, and we have to just go for it. And so we did the Kickstarter for the first volume of Seasons, and we raised over $6,500, and it was my first thing, and I was
holy crap.
Yeah, I was just like, this is incredible, like people like this. And so it just was incredibly encouraging. And from then on, I did another Kickstarter after that one, because I was like, okay, this works, let's keep doing this, let's keep this up. And so before volume 2, which is on Kickstarter right now for Seasons, I had this other book called Lifeline, and I worked with 7 different artists from all around the world on it. And each chapter is drawn by a different artist, and it tells this life story of this one guy from the perspective of different people in his life. So like each chapter was meant to have a different style, to kind of feature a different decade and a personality. So like I've just really thrust myself in this because I grew up with comics. I've loved comics all my life, and I knew this is what I wanted to do. It felt like a calling, you could say. It was just like, it's in my DNA, it's in my blood. Kind of like with music, I just like gravitate towards it really naturally.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to know if maybe you can give us a little insight. Maybe we could share we share the page, Frank, and it's Nandor.
Nandor, actually.
Nandor, dude, that is badass. Now, where did that name come from? Nandor Fox, dude.
Yeah.
Nandor. Nandor Fox, bro.
Yeah,
it's like a long A. We're from New England, So.
Nandor. Okay, Nandor Fox. Where did that come from?
Actually, my mom, she's Hungarian. She was born in Hungary. It's a Hungarian name, and so it's derived from Ferdinand, and it kind of means like traveler, adventurer, like kind of that's the meaning behind it. But so yeah, it's I don't know if it's a common Hungarian name. I think it's like partially common, but not too much. My brother's name's actually Miklos.
What?
And yeah, so it's really cool. But we, a lot of people just call him Mick, But Fox, my parents. This is really funny, but my parents were big X-Files fans. So Fox Mulder, they love Dave Duchovny and Fox Mulder. So that's where that came from.
Dude, you've got like the coolest parents ever. No offense, Michael, or Frank, but man. That's freaking great.
Yeah.
Now,
That's a great story.
Yeah, that really. Now, do you live in Missouri? Do you live like in the country, or are you in the cities? One of the cities? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm just outside of Jeff City, like
Okay.
the capital, Jefferson City. I'm just kind of a little outside there. And I've grown up here most of my life. I lived in Texas for a little bit. I lived in another city here in Missouri for a little bit, but I was born in Jeff City and kind of been raised here my whole life.
I shot a huge buck in Missouri 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
cool. Yeah, there's a lot of hunting. I know next month there's going to be a lot of my friends are going to go hunting next month. So
this is the season, man.
Yeah.
Well, can we?
This is also the season.
Yeah.
Videos.
Talk about seasons.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice, Frank.
Oh, so here's the video.
I'm Schaffer. I'm the creator and writer of Seasons.
I'm Anthony Gonzalez-Clark. I'm the artist of Seasons.
And we are back.
And we're back.
Seasons Volume 2 Summer is the second in the planned 4-volume graphic novel series. The story will pick up right after the events of Seasons Volume 1 Spring, continuing the extraordinary one-year journey of Fletcher. In summer, Fletcher will have to cope with the life-altering events of spring and attempt to find his footing as a new man in this unpredictable world. Now homeless and in need of answers, he befriends a mysterious figure who also manifests supernatural abilities, and they embark together on a trek across America that will bring them face-to-face against the literal forces of nature. Where spring took Fletcher to the pit of inner turmoil, summer will drag him through the wilderness of outer antagonism where he has no control, only the will to surrender. Anthony and I began Seasons as a webcomic in 2016, and 2 years later we launched a successful Kickstarter campaign for the very first volume. Now we're back to bring Seasons Volume 2 Summer to its fans, and we couldn't be more excited. More than anything, Seasons is about embracing change, and Anthony and I have undergone dramatic changes since the first campaign. I got a new job. I moved into a new place. I met someone really special to me. And Anthony had a baby. The one constant in all of this has been Seasons and our drive to get this series made. And it's only because of you guys that we can do this. So please back this Kickstarter today and share it with all your friends and family. And let's make something truly incredible happen. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to forgive us. For some reason, StreamYard has been keeping the volume down. I don't know if we can't hear it that well. I don't know if you guys can out there watching.
Yeah, and I had it all the way up.
Yeah, it's a little low, but it's okay.
It's been like that.
If you can't, our crew, our mods are putting the link up, so you can listen to it. But that's why we have the show. So tell us what you can about the campaign without spoiling.
Yeah, of course. We're back with Seasons Volume 2 Summer, and we've been working on this longer than we had expected to, but it's just been a lot going on in both Anthony and my life, and so we've been really working hard on this and really taking a lot of time to get it right and really bring Seasons to a whole new level creatively and with this new story. So with Summer, at the end of the first volume, the main character Fletcher is really left with this really big discovery about himself and kind of trying to figure out what his next move will be. And with Summer, he's really searching for the answers and trying to find out what his next move is. So he's really like kind of a fish out of water, and as he enters this new world, this new experience, that he encounters these other characters and these beings that kind of display these supernatural abilities, but that also kind of represent the different elements, but also like it's only in the framework of a natural disaster. And so there's like, he encounters this character that can basically in the eye of a hurricane, and in this hurricane, and she like displays like a water ability, you know, and it's kind of symbolic to her own personal demons, and that's how it is for the other characters too. So there's a lot of analogies going on, a lot of symbolism, and that's really kind of at the heart of the series, because what I wanted to do and what the series is about kind of thematically is how, you know, there are a lot of things we take for granted, you know, seasons themselves, and a lot of things that are part of everyday life. And what if there's meaning behind that, and the symbolism that can kind of instill and be brought out. And so it really is taking Fletcher, the main character, you know, he's kind of at the center of this whole new way of thinking about life and the world. And kind of, you know, there's a bigger picture out there, and that, you know, he's really this, you know, this small, you know, speck on this big world. And so he's really trying to find himself, and he's lost, you know, really searching for answers and trying to find his purpose and meaning in this.
Nice. Now tell us about your artist, my friend.
Oh yeah. So
I mean,
I worked
Anthony
with
Gonzalez Clark.
That's right. Yeah, he is by far the, you know, the most amazing friend and artist that I've come into contact with, and we collaborate so well. It's so amazing. But he such a great guy, and his art is just, you know, incredible. And I met him actually, you know, when I was searching for an artist for the series. I just found some of his work on DeviantArt, and, you know, we clicked instantly, and we were both looking to take on something really ambitious and big, and we just really, you know, connected over the story and over kind of what we wanted in our creative paths, you know, individually. And so he really specializes in, you know, black and white art, but there's a lot of you know, effects and digital kind of, you know, tinkering around with things, and a lot of like ink wash, and he'll do kind of mixed media of traditional and then go touch it up in digital. And it's mainly all black and white, but as the series progresses, we're adding color with each new volume, because we're trying to, again, with symbolism and trying to use the medium to the best of its ability of like Fletcher, the main character, is looking for purpose and wholeness and meaning, and we're going to be adding color to like show that with certain pages, and show that to really kind of convey that idea of, you know, him getting filled in, you know, finding his purpose and meaning.
Nice. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, he is, wow.
Yeah.
So you're on DeviantArt, and you basically you use it as a I guess as networking, right? And you reach out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely an artist hunter, and I'm, you know, I love meeting artists. I've always been, you know, I grew up with comics. I have favorite artists that I've grown up with, and I love collecting art. I've always been kind of this person that's gravitated toward, you know, beautiful things, and so it's just like when I saw some of his pieces that he had on there, he hadn't done much comic book work. He'd done a little bit. And Seasons was really his first kind of, you know, kind of opportunity to really show off his work and do whatever he wanted. And it's a really, you know, it's going to be 4 volumes, and each volume is going to be over 100 pages. And so there's so much, you know, room to grow and room to really, you know, express his art and show off all his different abilities. And when I was writing the story, I had that in mind, you know, because I was like, okay, he can do amazing things, so, you know, I need to make sure that the sequences and you know, whether it be the action stuff or the big set pieces, you know, need to really be good at marrying, you know, with what he is able to do and really show off his work.
Tremendous. So you're like, hey, so when you guys first hooked up, how old were you?
I was just turned 18.
So you're like, hey, I'm 18, and how old is he?
Yeah, I think he just turned 30.
Yeah, so you like hit some 18-year-old kid.
Yeah, I know. And I really like. I made sure, and see, this was what really convinced him was I had all my work done. I had the entire first story scripted out. I had a game plan. I knew what I wanted. And he was just like, okay, like, I mean, like, I proved myself. I was like, I'm not just this kid who's trying to have fun. I'm like really serious about this. I really want to make comics. I really want to leave an imprint and an impact on the world with what I have to say. I have a story to tell. I have, something to say. I think the best stories are the ones, or at least the most that stick with you, are the ones that really go, I have a message and I really want, I really believe in this and I really want to share it with the world. And we really clicked over that. And, thankfully he had, he didn't write me off as some like crazy kid, just like kind of having fun. And so, and I had the resources and the ability to, do this with him and not have it be too much of a, crazy thing just to like dive into. Like we created a pretty good game plan together.
That's great,
That's awesome.
man. I love it. Just like, that's ballsy of you.
Yeah.
I mean, here you are, you're 18 and you're like, nah, man, I want to make comics.
Yeah. It's when I look back on it, it does sound a little crazy, at the time though. Like I haven't lost the drive. I really, when I got out of high school, I did go to college for a little bit, but, I was just like, this is like, I know what I want to do. Like I think a lot of people go to college and they're trying to find out what they want to do. And it's a great way to do that and to also, further your career. But at the time, I was like, I know what I want to do. I want to do it right now. I don't want to like wait. And so I was really on fire for it. And I, so far, it's been working out pretty good. So I'm happy about that.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, if you on your third campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're 71% to your goal, and you got 15 days.
This is the fastest campaign that's grown the most. I've been comparing the numbers to my previous two, and we weren't nearly where we are right now with 16 days to go. So things are looking really good, and I'm super excited about continuing the series, and we're looking to get funded. So like, I'm really excited to, bring this to everyone.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it. You will.
Thanks,
man. I think that's truly what it is. Like, once you're done with the first campaign and the people that took a chance on you and sees the product, word starts to spread and they start, coming out and they're like, all right, like this person's for real.
Right. Yeah. And we had, no issues like with, distribution or getting it to people. Like, everything was very timely. And I made sure, that people are aware that, hey, like, this is what I want to do. This is, everything that, is important to me. And like, this is the priority.
So Herrenberg asks, do you recommend the aquarium?
Oh, the antiquarium. Oh, man.
Antiquarium.
He must know my local comic book shop because
he knows everything about every comic book shop. Like, they bring up, I'm like, sure. Okay.
Yeah, I highly do recommend it. And there's actually, that's where I've been going since I was a little kid. And there's actually, what's really cool, a new comic store just opened up like 2 weeks ago here in my town. And it's called Capital City Comics, and I recommend going there too. He's a really nice owner, really nice guy.
All right, cool. So you're looking to get this out by November?
Yeah. Well, the campaign will end November 1st. Okay. But the book will. We're planning on getting the book out by early next year. So probably like March or April. We still are finalizing some of the art for the last issue in the summer storyline, and then once that's done, just got to send it off to print, and we'll ship it out to everyone. So it's just kind of the turnaround time there. But the about 75 to 80% of the book is completely done.
That's awesome.
That's great too. That and also Frank, he's got his book. He's way ahead of the game.
Yep.
And so many people don't do that. And being especially that you're 23, that's really impressive, buddy. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I a lot of people, they kind of raise their eyebrows because they're like, how are you, how are you doing this? What, why are you doing this? Like, why didn't your parents, make you go to college? And my parents have always been just really supportive, and I've had a really good supportive community, and they like the story. I showed them what I was working on, and it's like everyone around me was like, you should do this. It was really encouraging. And I think a lot of young people need that encouragement. If you know what you want to do, don't regret it. Don't get to 40 or 50 and go, oh, I should have tried that. And that's something that was always on my mind. I was like, man, I have the opportunity to do this now. I don't want to regret it. And so I just went for it.
Awesome. Well done, buddy. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Good job.
All right.
Man, you're okay. So you're at 4,254. So what are you?
I'm like $700
away from your goal. Yeah. You got 16 days to go, buddy.
I know. It's awesome. Like I'm totally positive we'll make it. And, it's looking great.
You know what's cool is, and what's going to happen is that it's every campaign you do is just going to keep growing.
Yeah, that's the dream, like that's what I'm hoping for. And I think a lot of people have been, asking me for volume 2 after volume 1 came out, which was great. It's a great problem to have when people keep, like pestering you and they're like, okay, I want the next one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're also like, well, I want it to be, the best it can be. And so, it takes time for quality and all of that. And, I didn't want to just, start the campaign, the next year or whatever. It's like I needed to make sure that it was right and that we were, on the right track with it. And it was a little hard to because I had to stall it a few months, every now and then, because I wasn't where it needed to be. It wasn't where it needed to be with how much we had done yet. And so I think that's good for people to know too, is like, if you need to stall it a little bit, that's okay. Get what you need to get done. And then that way, when the campaign ends, when you're done, the readers and the fans don't have to wait so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Impressive, man. Well done, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, geez, Michael.
Yeah, I felt that.
Oh man, you got.
Come
on, let's look Elysian Fields, pal.
Yeah,
it's all good. I think I can do it.
Michael's Mike's like, I already hit my goal, man.
Yeah, I mean, we hit it really quickly. I had set the goal. Yeah. One of the big lessons that I had learned from the first campaign, I broke out into the industry, and we did really well on the Zero issue. And so, but like one of the big lessons was I had initially set my campaign goal super high on the first one. And so there was like people that were kind of hesitant to get on initially because they're like, oh, they could, but they could also not. And so like it kind of got people to back off a little bit. I was fortunate and I was allowed, Indiegogo allowed me to lower the initial goal that we had on that first campaign. We had it set at 10. I lowered it to 7. We got funded live on Mandy Summers' stream, which was a blast.
Oh, that's cool.
That community came out and just threw. I actually got yelled at by people. It was like, you need to add more tiers so that we can throw more money. And I went, okay. And so I just kind of I just was kind of pulling stuff out of a hat, which actually ended up leading to one of the big experiences that we did for pushing with this next book, which was our Support Our Troops tier. And we ended up, I did my time in it, 6 years Army National Guard as an infantryman.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I want to say thank you for your service. I'm 11 Bravo 2, same thing.
Woo!
So
we make poor decisions, Billy. It's all good.
Oh heck yeah, bro! Yeah. What was your guard unit?
I was with Alpha first, the 116th.
116th. Now that 116th, that was from the Big Red one originally or something.
We were the Bedford boys. We were the guys.
Bedford boys. Yeah. Okay. 29th infantry then, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Blue and the Gray. Those are the guys that everybody knows on Normandy.
Yeah.
They stormed, I think, Easy Red sector, I think, or Easy Green. And they had the highest amount of casualties. I mean, that was the worst of the worst on D-Day.
Yeah, the Bedford boys, none of them made it back. Yeah. Like they all died laying down to get the big red one up there and take out their sector of the beach. Without the Bedford boys, the Big Red one wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
So like it's a very prestigious unit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now, the big thing that I wanted to do was obviously give back to that community, having been a part of it and seeing what they go through on the civilian side of stuff and what have you. And I'm fortunate. My dad, he did time in as well. He was 30 years SF, and he runs his SF chapter. So I was like, okay, well, I have this resource, and so I reached out to him, and I was like, hey, are there any organizations that you guys work with? Because I was trying to find a good place to donate. We added that support our troops tier at that Mandy Summer show. So I was trying to find a good organization to give those funds to.
Right.
And without missing a beat, he dropped the Special Forces Charitable Trust. And so I reached out to them, and we've been officially partnered with them ever since. It's a fantastic organization that not only raises funds for the veterans, but their families as well. Scholarships for their kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
Widow funds, you name it. They are just an outstanding organization. And so we're partnered with them, and every single one of our tiers on our Indiegogo page that has their logo, money is going to them from.
That's awesome.
That's great, man. That is great.
So, Michael,
cool. All right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into crowdfunding? All
right. I'm 27, so I already kind of went into my time in the military when we got stationed to do a mission in Qatar, and with it being the middle of the desert with nothing to do, I decided to start writing freelance journalism for the comic book industry and entertainment industry. Started off with movie pilot. Eventually, I ended up working with Heroic Hollywood for a little bit. Ran my own blogs for a little, and most recently, I ended up getting signed up to write for Up Your Geek. But writing comics has always been a dream. I think I technically wrote my first comic book with one of my best friends growing up when I was in kindergarten. As a school project kind of deal, and it's something that has always stuck with me. I've always loved playing around with it, and for years people were like, "Hey, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this?" And I would always answer the same, "Oh, well, it's a lot more complicated than just going out and doing it." And it finally took one of my friends showing me a whole bunch of what was going on in the crowdfunding community. It's not. You just have to freaking nut up or shut up and get out there and do it.
Absolutely.
And so I went to work, and I put Elysian Fields is a concept that I played with since I was a kid, because I was that weird nerd that liked mythology and got into debates with his friends over which mythological heroes would win in fights. And so that's how Elysian Fields was born. And the Zero issue did really well. We ended up doing 8,829 on the campaign when we wrapped up.
Nice.
And I fulfilled within a month and a half of the campaign ending. And we had these beautiful holofoil books that we did, that everyone went ecstatic for. And it was an incredible experience. And so I figured, why sit around and wait when we had this success? I immediately started to invest in the next book, and here we are just a few months later. The interior of the book is 3/4 of the way done. The lettering is about halfway done. And I'm literally like, I've been spending the last few days going through Photoshop and doing the credits pages and everything, and we're wrapping up on production of the book. So I'm hoping to have it ready by January, February timeframe.
All
Look
right.
at you, man. Good job.
Yeah. Now, what have you learned from the last campaign, and what have you kind of done differently?
The big two takeaways are keep your campaign goal low enough to make sure that you're able to get your product out, but high enough to where you're covering what you need, and then pre-promotion. We're in the middle of we're doing I did an initial 30 days, and we are going to extend to the full 60 because there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. I feel like it's probably a better idea for us to keep going. We have a lot of stuff that we want to get to you guys. We announced a statue that's going to be coming on if we hit 15K. And so the big thing is you need to pre-promote. You need to make sure that you're out there on as many shows as you can. Get yourself out there, promote, get your product out there so that you not only are communicating to your audience that got the first book, but you're building more. You need to constantly be going out there. And then the other thing, as I said, is just making sure that you have the campaign goal not like terribly low, but low enough to where you can hit it easily. Because let me tell you, sitting there for, my first campaign was 60 days. And for 60 days, I was pulling my hair out.
Yeah.
Like looking at pressing the refresh button like every 6 seconds. I remember.
Oh, really? Really? Were you? I think my wife does that too. She does, because I'm kind of guy like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And she's like, very much not. She's like, you can spend another $100,
Oh man,
he's in the corner drawing,
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Like you, Mike,
One of my buds yelled at me. We were out having beers, and he's like talking to me. I'm like, and he's like, you're looking at your phone again. Give me that.
Yeah.
My phone, because I was literally just checking updates on the campaign. And it was just a whole thing. I was like, you're going to do fine, man. You got this. And we did. And so, I have every bit of faith that we're going to continue to do that. We already did get funded, and we got funded really quick. We hit the 2,000 mark within the first 3 days. It's just a matter of, as I said, there's a lot going on right now. And so I think that people are probably waiting to, at this point, they're either waiting to hop on towards the end of it, or they've got other stuff going on. This has been a crazy year, to say the least. So we're just making sure that we keep the open window for it. But we do have a lot of perks for those that come in on this first 30 days that you can't get outside of it. And that's what we're offering there.
Now, what's your preferred way of letting fans know about what's going on?
So the big way that I've done it so far has honestly just been going on shows, keeping up with Twitter, keeping up with with all the social media. I was trying to do the Indiegogo mailing list, but the way that ended up working was not how I was expecting, and I wasn't really a huge fan of that. Mm-hmm. I won't go into that, but I was under the impression that it worked one way, and that kind of hurt because I was assuming that we were going to have these people immediately, and the way that their mailing list is set up is more to get them in on the Indiegogo newsletter than it is to get involved with your campaign.
Oh, really? So, okay. So, and because people want to hear these things, and I'm curious too about it. So basically, for you to sign up for that mailing list, the Indiegogo mailing list, it's more the Indiegogo pushes it, so then they can use your backers to push other campaigns.
It's not even so. What it does is that when you sign up for the mailing list, you're not signing up for the updates for your campaign. You are signing up for the Indiegogo newsletter, and then they give you a spreadsheet of all of the people that have signed up and verified their emails and what have you. And so then it's up to you to create a ginormous email chain to send out updates and everything, which is kind of counterintuitive to how most other sites do it, where like the whole point of signing up for a mailing list for a particular project is you want to be in the know on that project.
Yeah.
And that didn't sit well with me. And I had no idea that that's how the Indiegogo mailing list worked until we'd been live for 2 weeks. And one of the big things that I was able to do was I brought on somebody to help with me on the marketing side, and they had signed up for the mailing list. And they're like, yo, man, you've been live for like a week and a half now. I haven't gotten a single email about any update on you being live or anything. Wow. And so I reached out to their help, and they're like, well, they only signed up for the mailing list. They're not following your campaign. And I just wanted to like pull my hair out and scream at somebody. I was like, oh, cool. Glad to know that I did all that pushing for literally you and no one else.
Now, did you do? Now, I know that I'm gonna kill this Nandor, right?
Yeah, that's
all
it.
right. So
there we go.
Nandor. So you're on Kickstarter, and Mike is on Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.
I know Indiegogo has that pre-launch page. Did you do that, Mike?
I did. That's how I set up that's how you get involved with the mailing list, is that you set up the pre-launch page, and then they sign up for the mailing list through the pre-launch page.
Mm.
So that doesn't really work. It's not, you don't.
No, all it does is it collects you get an Excel spreadsheet of all of the emails of the people that went on to that pre-launch page, and then it's up to you to send out those emails. And it's probably communicated well. Like this is definitely more of a user error than probably Indiegogo's. But like for me, when I was setting it up, it was the big thing that I had assumed, which is something that you should never do. That by these people signing up, they were automatically signed up to be to effectively follow my campaign, because that was like the common sense bug in my head. It's like, that's totally how that's supposed to work. But sometimes those the common sense bug and reality don't really mesh well. So it was just one of those things. It was a hurdle where we've rallied, and I got some emails out on the mailing list, and we're doing some other things to try and make sure that we're continuing to get out the word. And the biggest thing though is being on these shows. These are where the majority of the audience is. This is where I'd say 70% of what you're going to get on your campaign are coming, or at least from what I experienced on Indiegogo, 70% of the people that came and backed my campaign were people that saw me on one show or another.
Yeah, that's the way it is, and I think the mailing list would work if you had like a whole team, like you had one person marketing, that's your job, mail, update, but it's like you and someone else trying to do everything.
It's a huge process running a campaign. It really is. And doing it alone is more than a full-time job. Like it is an exhausting process that takes a lot of physical and mental energy to just keep up with. And it's one of those things where the goal is to get to that point where you're able to bring on those people that make it a lot easier, that can handle the marketing side of it, that can run your campaign while you go off and do all the promotion and focusing on getting the book done. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, is you've got to get the book out there. You've got to get it to people. And especially as, Nandor and I, we're relative, Nandor's on his third book. I'm on my second. It is so integral that not only do we, finish our projects, but get them to our consumers in a timely manner, because that's how we build that good interact. That's how we build that good reputation so that people will return.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have Mike. You have Lutiard here. He's going to promote your Indiegogo on the Comic Collectors Guild.
Hey, absolutely.
I think there's like 60,000 people on the Comic Collectors Guild too. And Lou's a good guy. He's fancy.
Yeah. I will never say no to anybody that's trying to promote my books.
Yeah. And Lou has another question about this. I'm not since your book Jason and Akira, since your book has an Akira vibe, does it have the drama storyline style of Otomomo's Memories as well?
I'm not sure that he's talking about my book.
Maybe it's
my book.
Nandor's.
I think he's talking about mine, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
did you talk about it here?
Yeah, on the campaign page, I do say like people that enjoy, Akira and some of the other manga on there might really like Seasons. But yeah, it's if I were to answer that question,
I think it is addressed to you.
Yeah, it definitely kind of has that style, but it's more in the way that the visuals are conveyed and displayed on the page, not necessarily the content of the story. But Anthony, he's big into manga, and he actually got me into it more than anything, because I grew up with the main superhero stuff and Marvel and DC and some of the Image books, but he really got me into manga, and so that's something that we kind of bonded over as we grew creatively. And if you're a fan of Akira and some of the other manga that I listed there, you'll adore Seasons. Like, I mean, that's what Anthony lives and breathes, and so like if you love that stuff, you'll love it.
Yeah, manga is one of those things that I feel that a lot of Western creators need to be looking at and learning from.
Oh yeah,
because it's one of those things. A, manga is selling better in the United States than the mainline comic book industry, and B, those guys are professional storytellers they're not just hopping from book to book. They're staying on a book for years and doing entire full-on stories. And we need to learn from that in order to really step ourselves up to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's actually,
I will do some self-promotion. Sorry.
No,
we actually had Greg Schoen on last night. He's doing his Rascals campaign, and he's over in Japan, and he was saying, like, you know why over there comics is like a beast is because of manga. They have manga for every person, grandmas, businessmen, little schoolgirls, college age kids. There's something for everyone, and that's where we're missing out.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. Definitely. It's like comics, in the American world, it's really, it's either just for, men, and they're trying to get, women and younger readers in there. But it's like kind of breaking up the fan base more than bringing everyone together, it seems like.
Oh, yeah, agree. Yeah. The big two is really misdirected, I feel, right now. I mean, they just seem lost, and they fired a lot of good people. I don't know who they're doing their marketing research, and their sales research of, okay, this is the audience we're trying to get, and I understand trying to reach out and find another audience, but you don't isolate 90% of your other audience and try to get another one.
Right.
You can do both,
Yeah, why can't you? There's no reason.
It's one of those things, because I've talked to a few buddies about even like the animation side of things on like kids TV shows and what have you, and so it's like this whole concept of you take these IPs that people grew up with, in my generation and what have you, and then you dumb them down to a point where, like a little kid's going to have a blast with this, but the parent that was really excited to get their kid exposed to this IP that they used to love is now like scoffing and being like, this sucks. And the big problem I feel is that the way that most of these guys see this is there's so much tunnel vision and short-sightedness. like they're like, oh well, what gets us the instant gratification on views and toy sales and this and that, but then there's no longevity. Like, you know, you have people like me that will go back and rewatch Batman the Animated Series or Gargoyles or X-Men the Animated Series or any of these things, or go back and read old comics, back issues from our favorite runs. But at the end of the day, there's no longevity with anything that's that these companies are putting out right now. It's good for maybe one read, if that.
Yeah.
And then when you try to go back to it, you're like, I know everything. I know all the twists and turns in this. And as fun as it was, maybe going through that first time, it's just not worth going through a second.
Yeah, I mean,
so
that's always been the beauty of getting into comics, was learning the history of the characters and like going back and buying back issues. And like when you go to a comic store, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is the issue that I wanted, you know, because it tells this story, and you know, they refer to it, and it's like everything that had happened had like you know, weight to it, and it made what came after it, you know, even more important and like, you know, weighty and interesting, because you know, there was so much investment, you know, especially, you know, Claremont's X-Men run. It's just like everything about that was about investing in the characters and showing how much they've, you know, changed and grew together, and how relationships changed. And, you know, like that's something that, you know, I feel like, you know, we're missing or not getting as much of, you know, nowadays. But
yeah,
well said.
I agree.
Well said. Now, just if I may, with Michael, you have Marcelo. He's got a really clean,
yes,
fantastic line. It almost seems like he's got an animation touch to it. Can you tell us about Marcelo, your artist?
Yeah, so Marcelo is probably one of the biggest, like the luckiest things that I ever got involved with. So like when I was, I had written the script for the Zero issue, and I was shopping around for artists online, and I don't even remember what site it was, but he was the second entry on there. And I went to his portfolio, and he had this sequential of art that was based around the PS4 reboot of God of War, and I was like, all right. And so like I talked to him, and he's from Brazil. So it was very affordable for me to be able to do that, because thank God for exchange rates. And you know, when I sent him the script, he was like, I love mythology. This is like a dream project for me. And literally, it's been so cool seeing him bring this stuff to life, and even in ways that were better than I could have hoped for. Like I remember when I sent him the stuff for Gilgamesh, like my character write-up, what I had written was very different than what came back, and I wasn't mad at all, because it was very clear. It was very clear that Marcelo had gone out and done research on Babylonian and Sumerian history, because like I had kind of had Gilgamesh with kind of a thin beard, and then he comes back, and you've got this these giant lines with plates in them and everything, and I just went, yeah, I'm not even mad about that. That's awesome. Ripped from Marcelo, like okay. But
so let's get the video going. How about that? Here we go.
When we left off in the Zero issue, Achilles had made his way from peace in the afterlife to an arena. He was left to fight alongside King Theseus against the first heroes Gilgamesh and Enkidu. Achilles had begun this fight against arrogant Gilgamesh at the end of the Zero issue, and that's where we pick up in Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit. In almost 60 pages of story, we see the new Team Hades form and begin their first round in the Abyssal Tournament of Champions together. Heracles, conqueror of the 12 labors. Theseus, slayer of the Minotaur. and Achilles, the hero of the Trojan War, must now face an opponent that has never been defeated before in this arena, the champion of Osiris, Imhotep. With the success of our first campaign, we were able to expand on this book in pretty much every way. We have doubled the size of the story. We brought in talents like Kevin Sharp and Rolando Espinosa from Dragon Guard, Scott Rosema, and many more for various different covers and pinup art. We're also extremely excited to announce our partnership with the Special Forces Charitable Trust, for whom we are raising funds by our Support Our Troops package. Not only will this package include an Indiegogo exclusive edition of the book with a cover by Ted Lehman and Farah Normaliza, but it will include a pinup by the very talented Justin Hunt, a UNIP patch, and a challenge coin. $10 from every purchase of this tier will be donated to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. It not only helps the veterans of this very elite community of the American military, but their families as well.
Well done.
Yeah, Luke Stone did a really great job with that video. Luke is a fantastic friend of mine, and in all honesty, is probably one of the biggest reasons for my success, because he saw me kind of pushing stuff on Facebook. He's like, you had a really cool premise here, a really good looking book, but you're not going about this right. You need to be going on to shows and doing this, doing that. And he offered to be my letterer and for the Zero issue, and he was just outstanding. And he's a very good friend, and it's awesome because, you know, when we hit 5K, it unlocks a stretch goal where he's doing trading cards, and so at 5K we'll unlock those trading cards, which would be really cool.
Nice.
But
well done, buddy.
I thought I saw this. I'm trying to get to that section of your stretch goals. Here we go. So right here, it talks about where you're at, you know, and everything that you get. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so right now, the only stretch goal that's unlocked so far is that every copy of the book gets signed. So you'll get it signed. The other thing that's not up here is that the first 50 backers of the Dragon Guard cover, and that's across both the whole enchilada tier and the Dragon Guard tier, will have their book signed by Kevin Sharp as well. Nice. And then like we have a whole bunch of stuff that we've been announcing through updates on social media, up on here. One of the big things that's going to be added is that there will be a limited edition statue tier that'll be added if we hit 15,000. I was asked once if I had the FU money, what kind of thing would I want? And I was like, I would love to do a statue. And so my brother, who does a lot of 3D printing, was like, I think I might actually be able to help you with that. And he got me involved. He got me in touch with some of the people over there, and I found a guy that was an up and comer. His rates were really reasonable, and he made us a statue. It's on our update. He made us the design for the statue. It's on our updates, and so as we progress, hopefully we hit that point. Well, like I'm expecting to print off the model here. Like if we hit 10K, I'll probably print off the model so that we have the prototype to help us get that push to 15.
Nice.
So this is the Special Forces Charitable Trust, and you can take a look at their website. They're a fantastic organization, and you know, we actually have a reveal for that Support Our Troops tier that I sent Frank here earlier this evening. So yeah, we can share that whenever. But let's take a look at their website really quickly so that people can see that. Because they
just posted that in the link.
Okay, well. Awesome.
So that people can go to the link. So
this is their website. They do, as I said, they're just a tremendous organization. Working with them has been a blast. They have a great team over there. And their mission really it struck home for me. Supporting the fan, like as important as it was to support the veterans, the concept of doing the stuff for the families, it's something that I don't feel it gets talked about enough, because at the end of the day, these people are willing to take that same risk, realizing that there is a good chance that their loved one that's walking out the door to go fight for the things that we hold dear might not come home.
Yeah.
And so giving them the support really resonated with me.
Well done, buddy. Yeah. Well done.
Now they seem to be local near you, right, Michael?
They are actually, I think I'm in Virginia, and I believe they're in Vermont. So like local-ish, like East Coast, but they're still a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump.
When I scrolled, I saw Arlington. I was like, they're close to you, Virginia.
You can sponsor a wreath to be for like a soldier to get put on a soldier's grave at Arlington National. So like that's one of the things that they do. And as I said, they're just a tremendous organization, great group of people to work with, and I'm genuinely very excited at the fact that they were willing to partner with me on this, and they've been sharing our campaign across their social media, and it's, as I said, it's just been a tremendous thing to get to work with these people, and we wanted to make this support our troops thing as badass of a package as you can possibly get, which I guess kind of brings us to the reveal for us tonight, because we got the finished colors on Justin Hunt's pinup.
Nice.
And so it turned out fantastic. And the other big thing is if you get in on that support our troops tier in these first 30 days, you get this bad boy signed and numbered by Justin Hunt.
Dude, that is awesome.
Look at that.
Pretty sweet.
And so this is just a fantastic thing. If you actually zoom, I did not ask him to do this, but if you look at the saw gunner, you will notice that the saw gunner is in fact me. He found like a picture of me in my uniform way back when, and he even has it's harder to tell here because it's been colored, but when he was sending me the pencils and inks, it had like my high cheekbones and everything. I was just like, what the fuck? Just a tremendous cover. Talking to Justin about this, it was crazy because it was like fireworks going off between the two of us, where we really wanted to show this thing where we have the heroes of Elysian Fields up in the sky looking down at the soldiers down there, and there being that bond between warriors that extends across generations. And Justin just did a fantastic job capturing that. And then Alonso Espinosa is a world-class talent when it comes down to the coloring, and he freaking delivered. What a fantastic piece.
That's I mean, how could you ask for something like that? If you're a fan of the troops, if you're a fan of what Michael's doing, it's a bonus. I mean, all of this is a bonus, and I think that's what I love about crowdfunding is, you have these campaigns where they're not just supporting themselves, they're going after, and supporting what they believe in. You're doing the military, we know other people that support children's hospitals and everything else to try and expand and bring the comics back to the readers,
Absolutely.
In any way possible.
And the big thing is that this community, as much as they want to get back into comics, if there is a way for them to help out others through doing it, it's just a win-win. And so to be able to back a campaign, get a good comic, but then to also know that you're doing something that will help people that could use the help. It's just a tremendous thing. And so that was my whole thing is, I saw the generosity that was in this crowdfunding community, and I was like, you know what? let's go all in. And so, like, as I said in the video, the Support Our Troops package, you get that pinup, you get a unit patch and a challenge coin, and then you get a special edition cover of the book that's an Indiegogo exclusive. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Great.
So now,
damn, bro.
Right. So now that you've fulfilled and you got a week left, are you going to stay in demand?
So what we're doing is, we're coming down to the end of our first 30 days. All right.
Okay.
We were going to initially go in demand off of the first 30 days. However, as I said, there's been a lot of craziness going on, and we want to give people as much of a chance as humanly possible. So the first thing that we're doing is we will be extending to the full 60 days, because we only did a 30 campaign on this one. So we have the ability to extend to 60 if we wish.
Right.
And so we will give people the opportunity to come in and get that. But there are all sorts of benefits for the people that backed in the first 30 days, and for the even, we had a whole mailing list special where you got the Joe Tolliver pinup for free. And since that pinup wasn't available as an add-on until last week, every single person that purchased prior to that pinup being added as an add-on will be getting it as well for free, because they didn't have the opportunity to do it within their purchase. So like I am trying to make this as getting in on these first 30 days, you're going to get a lot of stuff that isn't going to be available for the rest of the campaign. So it behooves people to get in within the next 8 days. But if you can't, that's fine too. We are going to be doing that full 60, and we have a lot of exciting stuff. We've got a lot of original art up. Everything from the Joe Tolliver pinup original art to Justin Hunt's original piece, which I would like to also point out that entire price point of sale isn't going to us. That's going to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. As you can see, it has the SFCT logo on there. So if you really want to be generous and get and really give back to that, that is the way to do it. And every single one of those original art tiers gets you a cover, gets you a copy of the book. So
and gets you closer to the $5,000. So everybody wins.
It's like $30 away. Come on, guys, $30 away from $3,000. Please share it. We get it. We know how things are. If you guys could share it though on your social media with your friends, anybody that say, even people that veterans, somebody that wants to help out, veteran organizations, please do. Lewis, get your fireman behind it, buddy. Come on.
I appreciate it. Like, when we have a lot of things going on, it was one of the big criticisms that I had of the last campaign when I was on Mandy's was people yelling at me that we didn't have enough expensive tiers. Is that echo coming from me?
It might be. You have
I don't know.
Down a little bit.
No, I don't. The echo was still there, and I put myself on mute.
Frank, let me do the mute the screen.
Yeah.
Talk now, Michael.
Hello. All right. I think that did it.
Yeah, I think it was the. I think it's the page right here.
Yep, I'll remove it. There we go.
But anyways, so we got this whole thing where, like, when we were doing that Mandy Summer stream, people were yelling at me in the comment section, "You don't have enough tiers, and you don't have enough expensive tiers. Like, where are the at least like $100 stuff?" So like, literally that was one of the big things. Like, fine, you want expensive tiers? Fine, I'll throw in expensive tiers.
Michael has a picture in his car. He's like, "Come
on." But yeah, no, it's been a hell of an experience, and like we're thrilled that we funded really quickly, and it was awesome to see that support outpour. But like, every campaign hits that mid-campaign slump, and we're taking that in stride, and we're continuing to push forward. And as I said, we're going to extend for the full 60. There's going to be plenty of opportunity to keep going, and we plan on staying in demand through the new year, and what have you. And so we there's going to be plenty of time to get in on Pyramid Gambit.
But if you really want to capitalize and get in on all of this premium and exclusive content, you need to get in now.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, and Lou, you can't pledge. You gotta. You can't pledge for, as far as I know, on Indiegogo or Kickstarter with PayPal.
Yeah,
right?
unfortunately,
you got to have an account, right?
Yeah, they don't do PayPal on Indiegogo, so you've got to be able to have your own account and have like a card and what have you on file. They unfortunately don't do PayPal. I know that's actually a sour point for a lot of people. Because I've had a few people who are like, I don't back anything on Indiegogo because I can't use my PayPal. I'm like, oh, okay, real cool. Okay.
Yeah. Just make an account.
Yeah. So, Michael, how can fans get a hold of you?
So there's two really great ways to do that. First of all is on my Twitter, which is @ElysianFields_0. And the other really great way to do it is we have the Nine Realms Facebook page, which is my publishing imprint. And, that's where you can keep up with all the news Nine Realms between Elysian Fields issue 0 and stuff that we've got cooking in the idea farm. So follow us on both of those, keep up to date, and back Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit. It's live on Indiegogo. What are you waiting for?
Nice.
There you go. And Nandor, how can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter and Instagram. My Twitter handle is Nandor @NandorFox, and then my Instagram is Nandor F Schaffer. And I'm also on Facebook if people want to friend me on there. I'm probably only one of the few Nandors you'll find in the U.S. So you'll see me there. And so I'm on there. You can message me if you have any questions about the campaign, or if for people that want to know too, like with this Kickstarter campaign, if you missed out on the first volume, there is a bundle. It's a discounted bundle for people that want to read volume 1 and 2. So definitely take advantage of that. And if you just kind of want to know what is Seasons, you can read it on Comixology. It's on Webtoon. It's on Macroverse. It's on Tapastic. You can read it for free at my website, seasonsthecomicbook.com. And if you just want to help us out, for $1, you can get the first issue as a PDF. So it's 25 pages for $1, and it definitely boosts us on the site. So every little bit helps, and I encourage you to check it out. And like I said, each book is going to be over 120 pages. So there's a lot of content and it's going to be a hardcover. So the first book here I have, it's a matte hardcover here, and it's only $20, and it's just simple but sturdy. And yeah, so there's volume 1, and we're going to make volume 2, and we're trying to get if we hit the $6,000 funding goal, what we want to do is get the 6,500 stretch goal, which will let us do some embossing and some spot gloss UV on the cover. So it'd be really cool to kind of get this deluxe hardcover, that we're aiming for, and make the book look even more beautiful than it can. So I just encourage you to check it out.
And if you're around tomorrow near him, watch him play drums.
That's right. Yeah.
Where's your gig again?
So it's gonna be at the Bone. It's a bar called Bones here in Jeff City, in Missouri, and we go on at 9:00. So it's gonna be fun. We have a 2-3 hour set, and we're gonna be rocking out. So it's gonna be great.
What kind of music do you make?
It's kind of alternative rock or indie rock. I really like the Killers and Blue October and Kings of Leon. Kind of progressive rock.
Is vibing with you really hard there, Nandor. I'm digging.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, and I'm big into. I actually do love a lot of classic rock. I'm a big Billy Joel fan, and Beatles, and Hendrix, and Guess Who. Love the Guess Who.
I love the Guess Who too, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's where it's at.
That's where it's at, indeed. And I'm a huge Beatle fan too. I'd same thing with you.
Yeah.
But I love the Guess Who. Well, Frank,
Right.
this was
So this was great.
An hour and a half.
Yeah. So like Niall always ends the show, like once you're on our stream, you're a part of our family. Let us know what's going on. Let me know.
Okay.
Because I do social media, try and promote on a daily basis at 7:00 in the morning about a campaign, anything going on. If you want to come on, we have other guests, let us know. We're happy to have, everyone from our family involved. So we really appreciate you sharing your project with us.
Yeah, of course.
And come on again, even when we do our 5 and Dime, that we do a 10-minute segment, sort of similar. We ripped it off of Peter Cimenti, and I actually told him the 5-minute call-out thing. I'm like, we should do 10. Let's do 7 minutes, and then Niall and I would talk about 5 minutes. I'm sorry, 10 minutes, man. So we call it 5 and Dime. We get 5 creators doing 10 minutes for each. Once a week.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
So thank you guys very much. Keep us up to date. It was wonderful hearing about your project. So we wish you both the best of luck. You both will fulfill. Mike, you'll fulfill even more. You'll beat last goal. So don't worry about it. It'll come.
Yeah, and thanks for your service, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks for yours, Billy.
Friggin' Army, man. I got an Army shirt on it. Yeah, look.
And I'm not rocking one of mine here today, but 11 Bang Bang for life, bro. I'm in the infantry
Bang,
group.
yeah, man. Brothers of the Blue Cord.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. Next time we get together, we got to share all our lies. Hey, Matthew, Mike on the left. He was.
Here's Matthew.
Hi.
Hey, Matthew.
So, what do you say to him? He was in the
he's tired.
Thank you for your service.
There you go. All right, boys. Good to see you guys again.
Right.
Please come on anytime. Look at this. You got a Mob Seat. I was just singing that song in my head, man. From the Guess Who. So.
Wait, don't end it yet. I want to go on your YouTube chat.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So what you want to say? Something?
No, I'm going on your YouTube chat.
Oh, Matthew wants to go and make a comment.
All right.
Oh. Well, hurry up.
Hurry up. We're going to end. Matthew.
You're under a timer.
Come on.
Oh, God.
Come on. Some people have to eat and sleep. Come on.
Come on, Matthew.
Yeah, I said hi. Woo!
Oh, congratulations, Matthew.
Lou has a question. Mob Seat gave us a super chat. Oh, thank you, Mob Seat.
Oh, thank you, Mob.
Okay, Lou, what's your question? Batwave.
That's me. Yeah.
Can I pay straight to your PayPals for the pledges, please?
Who is that to?
That's both of you guys.
That's fine by me.
Sounds great. Yeah.
How can Lou and other people say that's what they do is that they do with PayPal and all. How can they reach out to you guys? Like you're on Twitter, I guess, a Twitter instant message or Facebook.
Yeah.
If you hit us up hit me up on any one of those, that's fine. You can send messages to the 9 Realms thing, and that's actually probably the better way because I get so many direct messages on Twitter. It's hard to figure out which ones are which sometimes. But
yeah, same here. Yeah, like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, just message me and I'll give you my information and we can work from there.
Awesome. And then Lou says to Mike, Company 2 Fire Department wants to do a donation to Special Forces Charitable Trust. So I guess reach out to him and he'll tell you what to do, Lou.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Very generous of you, buddy. And thank you, Mob Seat. It's a racquetball racket, bro. It's not a tennis racket, man.
I'm sorry,
tennis for sissies, man. This is racquetball. Tennis, I'd be crying about it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Thank you guys so much again for your service, for being on the show. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next week.
You too. Bye, guys.